Welcome back to Career Build Series, episode number 12. So doing a bunch of work here. Let's kind of go over what I've done. So did some off screen. So I made a service panel here most recently. And so this panel will open up. It has electrical, it has diesel, and water. So I'm going to put potable water in there. It also has a light to turn on when the door opens. And it will have some fuel gauges. We also need to put fuel gauges in the rest. Did a little bit of roof work here, some redesigning on the roof work. I put some spots and a radar on the front. Did a little bit of a flourish in the front here, which I think I'm going to actually go like that on. Angled. I also brought the deck up one level. That's often how they are. You have a sloping deck towards the front. So I did that as well. So I think the general shaping is looking a little bit better now. That may allow me to make the railings symmetrical, which I think looks better. So just a little bit of work there. I might actually jog this out. Let's do that now. Let's grab this here like so. I'll grab the one on the other side. So really trying to get this where I can use it in the career save. So I think we're getting there. You know, it's taking me a little bit of time to get this built, but again, I want a craft that's gonna work well. I don't want it to have issues right off the bat. So let's see, am I getting the right color here? There we go. Yeah, so that looks better. There we go. I haven't hooked the radar up or anything. I want to make my own custom radar controller. Maybe put a camera on there. That could be my spot camera there. Or spotlight. Put some spots in the front, put some spots in the back. I'm trying to think what else I've done that's a little bit different. So I'm currently working on this, trying to get this set up. You know, there were some things that were outstanding that needed to be done in order to make this ready to operate. And so one of the big ones here is symmetry. I needed the ability to have fuel, the ability to refuel my craft. So that's high on the to-do list. I actually don't really refuel all that much. You know, every time it goes on the workbench, it's gonna be refueled. So, but it's always good to do. So here is gonna be fuel right there. And so let's see, how do I want to snake this around? And this will also give it a good bit of detailing, having some pipes go across the ceiling. And when symmetry is not on, I want it on. There we go. All right, and so the pipe will go this way. And these will fill the two tanks. So what I'll probably do is me paint this here. So I removed some weight blocks too there for ballasting. Let's go ahead and grab these valves. Two valves are going to move one. So the valves are going to come to there. And then I want some T-pipes. Like so. So I'm gonna lose where where this stuff is here. If I put it there. Kind of have to do that. Because I need to be able to not have to open the valves to refuel. That's fine. We'll delete those two off. Actually, can I go that way? No, I can't, so. Just talking to myself here. Okay, so that can go straight up. All right, good. So, yeah, a little bit more interest too. A little bit more decoration, having some pipes move around there. All right, so that's piped in now, so the fuel will come down from the ceiling, it will split out, and it will go to either tank, so we can fill it from there. The issue I'm having here, though, is let's do this. I also have, okay, just checking symmetry there. I also have water. Where's the water? Water is going to be right here. I actually might switch that over to def. Probably going to switch that over to def, I think. Yeah, I'll definitely put a def system in there. So def is diesel exhaust fluid. I often put that on my systems to make it a little bit more realistic, and then I just make that jet fuel, so I have to go get a little bit of jet fuel, but we're not going to add that on yet. So diesel exhaust fluid, if you don't know what that is it's a urea-based chemical that it catalyzes the exhaust of diesel exhaust, and it makes it so that it causes less pollution. Kind of a nasty stuff. It's not, it's just it's crystallizes, so it's a pain, but like clogs up systems, but it is good for the environment. So if I go there, that's gonna be a problem. So that's fine. This is gonna go there, and then this here will, for now, take a block, and that will be where that goes. I'm just trying not to block it right off the bat. All right, nice. And so the likelihood we ever pump out is going to be, we might pump out, but I don't really care if it takes too long or takes a little bit of time. All right, there we go. So that's better. That will let me bring the def down from here and fill that. So that'll be def, not water. All right, so that allows me to refuel. So that was important to do, just to be able to have that functionality. Let's check the price here. 31. So I'm gonna cheat in a little bit of money. I did this because last episode I think I had to start over the world because there was an issue with, I think when they deleted the ocean bottom, not 100%, but I think that caused some issues where it was completely lagging up my game. The other thing I'm trying to think about doing here is, I think we'll add fins up here. Let's grab this color. Where is it here? I have it saved right there. All right, so I'm going to add some more fins just to help with stability, keeping the bow down. I actually don't want them I don't want them showing too much, so let's do them on this side. Do them on the interior. There is a way I can hide these with an XML block, but I don't think I'm going to go that crazy right now, at least. So let's go like that. And then whatever these are connected to here, port side can go here. And then starboard can go to these, and that's just going to give me a little extra controllability. One thing I thought too is increase the fin size. See what mediums will look like. If I can fit mediums on the shaft there, that's actually something I would do. Let me test it really quick. So just trying to get the functionality of this up to where we can actually go do some missions. So I need something like a winch. I want to be able to go out there, especially with that bed. That allows me to stay out there and grab new missions. So I'm just doing a quick test to see if these will fit. All right, so that's going to cause problems. Oops. I have to paste this. I have to delete off the fins first to see if there's a collision there. It's going to cause issues. There we go. And I can always undo this back to where it was. If it deletes the fins, then I'm going to abandon that notion. Yeah, see, it's going to delete the fins. So yeah, I don't want to do that. So All right, so we're back to where we were. That's fine. Keep it like that. That is good. Let me see about cutting this. Do I have anything there I need? I do not. Okay, good. Yeah, I don't like the flatness of that. Or this is a very sharp edge. Flatten that out a little bit. That's better. There we go. Yep, that's some improvement there. All right, good. So that will just give us extra fins there to be able to help with stability. Don't really need it. There are a couple. The only time I really want it is when I'm going backwards. I need more fin. Essentially, it's letting the stern come up out of the water, which I don't want. All right, what else do I need? So I'm gonna give myself a little money. I had that issue, like I said, when I restarted the game, and it's not really fair to me that that I completely lost that mission income and everything. So giving myself a little bit of money. People will complain about, oh, that's cheating, that's cheating. But again, you're playing to have fun. And for me, my craft is only 10,000 more than what I'm starting with. That's pretty small money. We'll make that up. And I get to use the vehicle that I want. And so that's important to me. Let's see, what do I want to... I'm going to try to find this. I'm going to bring up this Damon brochure again. All right, so looking at the brochure, again, it's not a replica. It's kind of some inspiration here. So the winch I think is right up against the back here. So let's look at the schematics. Looks like it's right here. It doesn't have like number labels there. I'm gonna look at some of these pictures on the website. All right, so here's the tugboat from the website, and so I'm trying to spot how the winch operates. See, okay, so the winch is right here. We can't really put it there because we don't have the space. So what I can do is move back. I also want to put a service hatch in there. So one of the reasons why you don't want the winch all the way in the back is the mechanics of it. So you want it as close to the center of rotation, which is pretty much the center of gravity. And the reason you want it at the center of rotation is if you had it back here, your thrust and your rudders are trying to pull whatever you're pulling. So let's say you're pulling a barge that weighs 1,000,000 pounds. If the winch is back here, your rudders and your thrust are trying to pull 1,000,000 pounds to turn. So that's going to be so heavy, it's not going to allow your tug to turn. So your tug's not going to be able to turn or turn well. If you put your winch at the center of rotation here, what's going to happen is the rudder is not trying to pull the mast. The rudder is just pivoting the ship around the center of rotation still. So you are rotating the tug and then you're pulling. So this allows you to turn better. So you want it here, closer to the center of mass, the center of rotation. You don't want it back here towards your rudders. You want it as close to that as possible. All right, so let's go ahead and we will look at this end. So I think what I'm going to do is I want to be able to walk behind this winch. I think I'm going to stick it here. So let's grab a winch. And so I'm probably thinking like a darkish gray. They have a kind of a darkish gray here. And so that's getting as close to the center of rotation as I probably can get. My pilot house is a little bit longer than it probably should be. It should probably come up some, but I'm not going to cut the pilot house out. Like I could cut out probably 3 blocks in the pilot house and be a little bit better. I really don't know if I want to do that, though. Where's my wedge? Go to there. Yeah, I'm considering it at the moment. Cut the pilot house a little bit. I don't think I want to or need to. Where's my engines? My engines are there. Yeah, so see, like, I can't even put a service hatch in there. I don't want to... I'd have to redo too much cutting the pilot house. And I can put a couple things in here. Again, I'm going to do rescues with this, so I want to have ample seating, so I'm not going to... Especially I'm not going to do a huge redesign like that right now. Oh, I keep doing that. This is colored differently, so I need to make sure I take off symmetry and color this. There we go. That's why I keep wondering why these two things keep getting screwed up color-wise. That'll be why. All right, so I think this is gonna work fine. I still can rotate fine if it's there. And so I'm trying to decide. Let's cut it into the deck one. Might actually be better sitting up one. Yeah, I think it's gonna be better sitting up one. All right, and so then do a little bit of decorative stuff here. So I'm just trying to, do a little bit of this decorating as I go. Right, so what this does is you would fish the cable through this, and this allows you to angle the cable. And so you actually have a bunch of these. I'll bring the reference material back up. So if we look at the reference material here, so you can see, so you fish the cable through here, and then as you turn, so let's say you turn 90 degrees, well, this will put the cable off of this, and it will bend here instead of bending off of the winch and then rubbing on the drum of the winch. And then these here, you notice these T's, what happens is the cable would then go and wrap onto that T. So what you can actually do is, it's actually neat, if you look at this diagram here, this is the cable pulley systems here. So if you look right here, the winch would come out and it can wrap around this here. And so the cable would come out wrapped this way. So you could actually be pulling backwards, where you could have the cable come from the winch, come around here, and then reach backwards here and not rub here or anything, because, you figure the cable rubbing on something is going to absolutely destroy it. And then here are some pulleys, which I really wish they would give us pulleys in game, because what you can do is you can take the winch, put it through one of these pulleys. I might do separate winches too, so I can do more stuff. And you can wrap them around a turnbuckle here, and that allows you to make it go backwards. And what you can do is you take a barge, you put the barge in the front, you hook the two cables, and these two cables pull the barge towards you. And so it keeps you as one unit, and it snugs it up. So it's kind of neat looking at some of the cable diagrams. One issue I have is how tall this is. Nah, that's not too bad. See, I need this tall because I don't want it rubbing on the rail here. We don't have real cable physics where the cable actually doesn't rub on stuff, so. Let's see. I think we'll put a rope anchor here. Like that. And then I think we'll color this black like that. So I can come out of the door. I still have walk space. So one of the things that's incredibly important with tugboats is being away from the cables. The cables are super dangerous. They're, if a cable were to snap, it could cut you in half. You can also get pinched between the cable and some solid surface. And so these are all very dangerous things that you have to be careful of. All right, so one of the things I want to add is wish we had bigger pipes. It's just it's tough with the pipes being as small as they are. Let's see what we have for parts. Let's do it with pipes now. I can always change it later, but so like I was showing you on the side is, we're not gonna be able to do it in game, of course, because we don't have proper rope physics. They don't interact physically with anything, but what you do is you'd have this come up here. get a pipe cross like this. Hit the wrong button. There we go. Okay. And so what this allows you to do is, I don't know if I want to put these on the end like that. No, that looks kind of funky. But so the cable would come out, and then it would be able to wrap around these, and then we'd actually be able the cable go in front of us like this and pull backwards. Of course, can't do it in game, but that looks too. Let's do this. That looks not too bad, I think. I don't want to have to XML anything to really. So I'm just going to quickly look through what I have for parts. You know, these are non-functional, so because they're non-functional, I really don't need to make them, you know, too perfect. Just kind of need to have them for looks. The end effector is not too bad. Let's do this. Stick an end effector on there. Okay. Again, these are not actually doing anything, so. And so that would be, you know, what you wrap the cable around. They tend to have T's on them. Let's see, can I pipe this? No. It's not ideal, but, you know, again, I'm trying not to be too, make this take too long getting into this. You know, if I could paint the nozzles black, I would do those. Let's do a couple, I'm going to give myself enough money that I can, you know, use the tugboat how I want it and have everything set up, so. That looks pretty good. Don't want to overdo it. I kind of want to lower this winch down. Yeah, I think I'm going to lower this winch down. You know, you want it, the closer to the center of gravity, the better it's going to be. So let's see if I delete anything I don't want to. No. And then that pipe hole's fine. I could even stick something there to cover it if I wanted to. Oh, crap. I painted stuff I don't want to paint. There we go. All right, so this is, I think, better, is lowering this down a little bit. It's gonna rub a little bit, but it's actually gonna tow better as well. The lower it is, the closer it is to the center of gravity, the higher it is. So if it was way up here, you figure that's a lever. So the lever goes from the point of connection to the center of gravity. That's a long lever. That's gonna tip the ship, and it's gonna pick the bow up, and it's gonna sink the stern. The closer this is, you see we draw a shorter lever arm. And the closer this is to flat, the less likely it's going to do that. So the lever is now only this long, and it's also more flat, so it's less likelihood it's going to pick us up. So these are all important things to be able to make things function properly. And I'm just going to quickly look at some more pictures off screen, kind of seeing how this looks. Yeah, see, we need more diameter pipes. We really do. Like if I could go smaller diameter there, that would be awesome. But just can't. So, not going to complain about it. I'm just going to work with what I have. But it would be nice. 45 angle pipes would be nice, all sorts of stuff. I don't want to go into XML too much. I'm going to paint this black. I think it just looks better. Not a huge fan of the end effectors here. Let's get rid of those for now. I think that looks better like that. It's a little bit beefier than I like. You see they're a little bit bigger, but so again, you'd pass the cable through here. Yeah, I think those are too tall. Probably if I cut them down one, they'll be better looking. There we go. So you'd pass the cable through here and under there, and then you could rotate around. See if I can get a scupper in the back here. If this is going down, if this is the other way. Just little details like that I think help with build. So the other thing that this tugboat has, I'll bring over the reference material again, is if you look here, you can also take the cable, you can fish it through here, and that would also allow you to rotate and turn it. So these are all just tools you can use to move the cable around and pull from different directions. And so it's kind of neat, the physics of how it works. But I'm not going to bother. Like, I'd have to bump out this and that. I don't know. Let me play with it, see if I like it or not. Try a 1x2 wedge there. Kind of leaning towards no, but yeah, I'm definitely leaning. Oh, that's going in. That's not shouldn't be going. Yeah, that's not gonna look right. So leave that closed up like that. So that's all coming along nicely there, I think. Let's cut some here, put some more rope anchors in. Just want to have plenty so I can tie off the docks and whatnot. Just, again, trying to get this set up where I can go out and have this function for me in-game. If I get to a dock and I'm doing a rescue and I can't tie off, that's going to be an issue. Still haven't decided if I want to, I don't think I'm going to put that front bumper thing on. All right, so what do we have money-wise? I'm just, like I said, I'm going to give myself the money just so I can get started. I want to add things like a fire nozzle, things like that. But we definitely need the ability to refuel. A little bit of a winch is important, so I need to make a winch panel. So let's go into logic. Let's go rope. Let's hook that up. So we start with a rope. Let's go ahead and connect all of our electricity for the winch, which is pretty much just this. That's going to go right to, wowza. Flicking the camera around again. Right to master power there. All right, good. So that's set up. One thing I noticed on the brochure is if we look at the brochure again, it actually tells me the gear ratio. So I'm curious if that's a 4.5 to 1 gear ratio. So interesting. Just a little bit of interestingness there. Okay, so let's hook up the spotlights. Trying to get out there and do missions, but Taking a little bit of time. I definitely, like I said, I don't want to get out there and have problems right off the bat. What is that? That's compass sensor needs to be hooked into electrical. That will go to... Normally just hook it in the sensor, but the master power is close enough that that's just going to get hooked in. Make sure that's there, or else I'm not going to get a good compass reading. Right, let's see, what else do I need? Okay, so we need to put in a winch panel so that we can actually, because if we get out there, we can't do a winching mission, that's going to be a pain. I want to be able to winch, so. Trying to think of what else I need. So fuel can go anywhere. Maybe put the winch panel here. I tend to want the winch panel where I can operate it as I'm driving. Probably change that up for a digital compass at some point and have a backup compass. I don't know why I just deleted the panel. I just need to configure it. Okay, so we have winch in. Give me an arrow button up, toggle 1. This is going to be cable length. It's going to be a dial. 0 to 100 meters. This is going to be winch out, arrow button, down, toggle 3. And for now, this is going to be none. All right, and I'll leave a space for that. So let's go. And then there was a bunch of additive I needed to do here. Make a bunch of things green that are not green. I decided I'm going to leave these gauges backwards. I think that's actually going to function better. All right, good. So that's my winch panel there. All right. So let's make a panel for it. Hoping to get out and at least try to run a mission here. It's going to take a little while setting up. What is that? What? Oh. There we go. I want it blank. I was like, why is that doing that? I have my bearing panel. I'm going to do winch slash to just remind me that this is eventually going to get another node. So that's composite, input, winch panel. It's going to be composite output, winch panel. We need to read the cable length. Number input, cable length. All right, so that's that. And then we have one node for whatever I want that last button to do. So let's see, what do I want that to do? I don't want it to be lights because I'm going to do front and rear spots independently. I don't know yet, so I'll think of that later. Let's go ahead and move these down a little bit, and we'll start building here. All right, so 1 and 3 are going to be our 2 winches here. So winch in is 1, winch out is 3 rather. Cable length, we're going to write that as 2. There we go. So that's pretty well set up. Cable length. Winch down, winch in. There we go. Wow. Keep flicking the camera around. Try not to do that. All right, good. So that sets that up. So we have a winch now. We can use that. So I keep packing these in the starboard side. Trying to get more fuel in the starboard side here. Because currently, I think my port side has more fuel. Not 100%, but doesn't really matter. They have the ability to crossfeed. This here keeps them so that if they get out of balance, that they will auto crossfeed just by gravity. We'll paint now. We'll paint now. No additive. Paint. There we go. Come on, come on, come on. Give it to me. Jesus. All right, so that's good there. Do we have a winch? What I'm trying to think. What else do we desperately need to be able to go out and do a mission? We have the ability to navigate. That's important. We have the ability to put it on autopilot so I can, not get fatigued. Trying to manually control it forever and ever. We have all of our lighting, spots. Let's do spots. I want to be able to make sure we can light everything up. So could do this as rear spots and this is front spots. I don't like that they're split like that, but or what's better is to do this. I think symmetry's off. Good. Trying to fix paint errors as I go so that I don't get out there and it looks uggy, uggy, uggy. Let's see, front spots. Front spots, flip switch. Rear spots, flip switch. That kind of groups the lighting together, so try to do that. So this will be 2. For now, these will be nones, and then as I think of more things to put in there, we'll have that. I don't really need a radar. That was something that's eventually going on there. Took the electricity up while we're here. All right, that's good. This panel now, we didn't yank out the panel. Okay, good. So let's make another micro. Spots. Trying to think. I want to make sure this panel has enough. Let's make this panel big enough that I can use those other 2 spots. Let's just commit right now. It'll be all a button panel, but actually we can make it so it's not all a button panel either. All right, so this is going to be panel. That's going to be output front spots. Rear spots. All right, so we'll just do that for now. Make it simple. I just had a notion I might do a moving spotlight / camera. And so I kind of was thinking ahead of where I want to move things to, so that kind of helps me a little bit there. These can go away. I don't need these right now. And then we want to read 1 and 2. All right, good. So now we have some spotlights. That's going to help with doing missions. All right, nice. So that's in. Let's go ahead and stick that in a fuel tank. And we have a bunch of extra nodes here, at least 2 extra nodes to be able to hook that up later. This here is just for the beds. So what I'm going to actually do is I can still fit this below it, so I'll stick this down here. There we go, right there. And then I'm just going to move this while I'm here. This is going to get moved to this. All this is doing is the pivots for the bed, so this can go right here and be out of the way, go under the bed. So this can go right about, I'll stick it right here. That will make it so that it doesn't touch the wall or anything if it's right there. Again, really want to get at the, really want to go out and try to do a mission, so. Trying to hurry up and do this, and then I need to fill that hole or we're going to have fuel not spawn in. But that also gives me a good amount of space to put more microcontrollers in there. Nice. So we're in good shape here. I think we're good to go. We have lights, we have navigation, we now have a winch that works, hopefully works. Have the ability to tow. We have no seating for people. Let's quickly bang in some seating. So let's see. All right, just kind of making the seating, worthwhile here. Let's save this really quick. All right. Now I don't have to remake a seat. Nice thing too is using microcontrollers in these seats. If I was really running out of space for microcontrollers, I could put it there. It's probably best as long as I can see over the seat enough to be able to still look out the window because I need to be able to do that for winching of it. Eventually I'll put a camera in where I can see it. Okay, I can still see out there adequately. I just need to move the table too. I can stick people in beds as well. So I need the one space there. That's going to be in the way of the panel. That's not going to make panels work there. That's going to be in the way of the helm, so that can't go there. Just want enough seats I can do some rescues. That's the main thing for me there. So right. Do that for now. If these annoy me, I can move them. And we'll shorten up the table, make the table smaller. The table doesn't need to be this big. That looks good. Okay, so that's just going to be kind of get me started there. All right, so let's save this, and I want to go do a mission. So let's get rapid on that. All right, so let's go. We'll meet you back in the actual world. All right, so we are on the actual crew build series. There we go. Transpo 1 Lighthouse Keeper. We just got a mission. I was just going to say we're going to go out in the tugboat, sleep, and try to get a mission. But we just got one. All right, good. So that's getting launched. Okay, so we're having a listing problem again. That's not a big deal. I'll fix that later. Here's the service panel. As you can see, that opens up. The light turns on, the backlight. I haven't put any of that in, but we could refuel if we need to. Def will be later. Electrical will work, but that makes that area useful now too. So good. We have some seating in here. I'm not having any issue walking around. Walking around gives me a place to sit. Not that I'm gonna get fatigued to actually stand at the helm, but this is a two-person tug, and then we have 4 seats there, so gives me plenty of ability to operate and go do some missions. All right, and then the other nice thing is I can kind of teleport up to that seat, just so I don't have to deal with kind of the jankiness of going up the pit. All right, let's get on the seat, start her up. That's fine where this lighthouse keeper is. We'll go there anyway. What? The lighthouse keeper is at the airbase. He's a lighthouse keeper, man. Okay, that's typical. So let's see what we could do here. I'm just really quick. I'm just checking diesel. So diesel is only $1 there, so that's pretty cheap for diesel. I gave myself 40 grand, and one of the reasons was we have to worry about fuel, but we can come down here and we can get diesel for $1. Or is it diesel? Where you at diesel? For 35 cents there. So that gives us something we can do as well. So let's go ahead and we will get out there, and I'm going to park. And then, oh, there's a paint issue. Let's get out there and park. And what I'll do is I'm going to make sure that I don't have... The override weather is now off. It was off. Override time is off. I'm just going to get out here and I'll sleep in our bed. You notice we're listing again. I need to check the fuel capacities. I will... Eventually, when I figure out all the systems for this, and everything is in, or most of it's in, I can reballast. And so you have to do this in real life. If you think about it, if you had a kitchenette on one side, that kitchenette would weigh something, and if you have something lighter on the other side, well, you'd have to add some ballast in order to keep it level. So I actually think it might be a fin issue. You see how we're listing the other way now? So that might be a fin issue now at this point. So whatever, I can fix that though. I'm just kind of trying to get out in the open here. We have the hospital ship here. Once we're out in the open, see, we do a nice speed. I'm happy with the speed. It's a good speed to be able to go do stuff that we need to do. And so we're able to go out and do the stuff we need to do. Hospital ship. And I'm just going to get out in the open here, and we're going to sit. So we should have our nav lights on. Just 2. Alright, and instead of just hitting 0 and slamming into 0, I'm going to back it down. There we go. Alright, now what I can do is I'm going to turn on my anchor light. So anchor is... Oh, this stopped. Oh, because I'm not on the helm. Okay, so that's set to anchor. So 1 light on the top of the mast is anchor. So that tells people that we're just sitting at anchor. We test out a couple things that we added there. Okay, so they are working. They're black in color, so that will make sure they don't have too big of a bloom. And that's what I want. So. Okay, so they're all on. Good. So they're working. I just don't want to eat up the battery either. So this will be getting a harbor generator as well. So it'll be a small modular engine that will also create power electricity. I didn't have my gens on. I'm going to leave my engines running to make electricity. So right now I have 2 24-cylinder diesels running to make electricity for me. And as you can see, they can't really keep up. They're just... Let's actually shut down. And I'll talk about how I set up my electrical systems. I set them up in a realistic way. And so, if we look in here, when I came in, I turned on the master power and I turned on the port battery. So if we look, port battery is discharging. The starboard battery should not be. Why is that one? So I hooked something up incorrectly if this one's discharging. Notice this one's not discharging at all. So this is our emergency battery or backup battery. This one should not be discharging, so something is up with this I need to fix. And so the whole point of this is, I didn't flick it on, did I? Nope. So theoretically, if battery starboard is off, what should happen is we shouldn't be losing any charge on this. And so what this will allow me to do is sit here and lay in bed, have lights on, and even if this one goes down to 0, I still have this battery fully in reserve, and I can then click that one on and get my engine started up, make electricity. The same thing with the backup battery. If I got in a bad situation where both mains were drained, you notice how this one's at 100%. This allows me to then come click that on and at least get the engine started, which I can produce electricity. All right, good. So let's take the old nappy poo here. See if we can get a mission I can actually use. All right, river barge requires servicing. The only issue is I think I deleted out my... I did. I deleted out my torches and never put them back. Where is it? So it's there and it needs transpo. Alright, so that's $6,000. This seems like an interesting mission to me, so not only... This is a good one for a tugboat. And so what I'm going to do is okay, so, you know, somebody made a comment the other day about, you know, why don't you just do a custom game or creative game? This still has the constraints to me of a career game, but I add the functionality of creative. And so part of it is for recording. If I get in a situation like right now, I could lie to you guys and say, oh yeah, I had a torch. Or I can do what I'm going to do here, which is I'm going to actually teleport over here. Which, let me enable teleport. Alright, and so what I can do is I can teleport over here. And I'm going to grab a torch because it was an honest mistake, I forgot it. And I actually want... How many big slots? We have this huge inventory now. Let me see how many slots I have on my player. So we have one two slotter. Okay. So I'm hoping this river barge... let's do this. I don't want to do that. Let me see. I'm just going to grab a regular welding torch. Spawn that. Alright. And I think I can recall that without losing my torch here. As long as it's in my hands. Okay. So now what I can do is I can actually bring myself back out to my, again, creative menu, map vehicles. There it is right there. I should put a keep active on this. I didn't do that yet. But as you can see, I can do this. So I made an honest, quick mistake. And so there's a reason why I advocate putting in that creative menu in your career games is if you make a small little mistake like that, you forget a torch. You can quickly teleport back, grab a torch, and move on with your day. You don't have to lose all that progress. You don't have to drive back. We're really close, but, you know, the episode's getting long. So part of the reason I do this is for videos, is it makes it much easier for me to be able to, you know, just teleport if I need to. Also, it allows me to do, you know, go in a third person, do stuff like that. So let's go ahead. Of course, there'll be a massive speed up for you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come around the horn here, set the autopilot, go over to here, come down to the south, come through here, repair it. See, I have 480 minutes, so we have plenty of time. $6,000, that's plenty of money. We'll grab it, we'll tow it. We'll tow it all the way over to here. And so I think that'll be a good mission, especially for a tugboat. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set my waypoint, which I'm going to manually drive us around there. But so first one's going to be, could go through here. That would be kind of, I think, a little bit more interesting. I'm going to go over here. That way I can go do stuff around the house. One of the, you know, a lot of people have said multiple times that the, you know, it's not good gameplay if you have to leave the game or do something else. Well, it's all a matter of what you like to do. And so, for example, I've made this argument before that, so right now, you see our bearing, so I have to enter this in, and this is going to tell me where to turn. See how we're foggy? So see this needle? If I turn that needle to the top, that's going directly to it. Now, my stability system's screwing me up here. That's, I think, what's causing the problems. Because I added those extra fins, and they're freaking out, so that's what's causing my issue. So I'm going to probably get rid of those. It was working better before. So I'm going to get around the horn of this, and then, so you notice the needle? This needle points directly at where my waypoint is. That one tells me the time, the distance, and this tells me what heading I would have to turn to. So I'm going to put a digital compass in. I'd like to make my own. I want to try to make all my own stuff. And part of this learning experience is I want to learn how to do more stuff. And so like one other thing is I always use this digital compass somebody made. I would like to learn how to make my own and make it a little bit more how I want it. And then the, another thing I want to do is make my own radar instead of using somebody else's radar. So that's a little bit complicated. So, all right, so now you see the needle is straight up, so I can click heading hold to bearing. And so the main thing what an autopilot does is it reduces operator fatigue. That's the whole point of an autopilot, is it's not to completely do the job for you. It's to reduce your fatigue. And so, like I was starting my rant there where, it's not honking horn there, hospital ship. So I was starting my rant that the, a lot of people say that, oh, it's not good gameplay, or it's not a good game, or it's not fun if you have to go do something else. Well, part of the argument I would make with that is, so right now I know how long it's going to take me. It's going to take me 11 minutes. All right, so I'm not going to sit here for 11 minutes. And I made myself an autopilot. So what's going to happen is this is going to go to here. And let's say I go do a load of laundry. It's going to go here, and it's going to auto stop. I can set an alarm that will tell me in 10 minutes, hey, go back and check your ship. I can come here, I can put in the next waypoint and set that. That's probably another 11 minutes, go do something else around the house. So to a certain extent, this can actually be freeing. This can actually allow you to both play a game and do, the things you need to do. You could, if it's going to take you an hour to go up to the Arctic or somewhere, you could put the autopilot on and then go do some errands around town. And so it actually can be free and allow you to do more gameplay. For example, if you had a game like Escape from Tarkov is the other main game I play, you have to pay attention to Tarkov the entire time. And like you can't even really stop and take a break and go to the bathroom while you're in a raid, and the raid could be 50 minutes. And so, you're captured in that game for that amount of time, and that's great sometimes. But other times, like if I know I need to do a load of laundry and I need to do the dishes, which I do, I can go do the dishes while this is tracking over here. And so I know I have 11 minutes to go do the dishes. And so that is actually very liberating, is I can enjoy my gameplay, which I am. I can move there in a realistic amount of time, and as long as I can kind of put in some little chores, like I could go take a shower, I could go, empty the dishwasher, I could go do a load of laundry, I could go, let the dog, I won't say it because she'll think she's going OUT, but she knows that word too, but she's sleeping. And I could go cook lunch or something. So these are all things I could do while this is on. So those of us who like these simulator games like farming sim, truck sims, this is part of the things that we enjoy. I enjoy watching YouTube videos. There are a lot of cool YouTube videos, especially about machines, that I like to watch. I really love the Grim Reapers who do DCS content. Well, guess what? I can put this on, and I know I have 11 minutes, I'll watch a video. And so this is very much a realism simulator to me and how I like to operate a lot of these games. And so, for example, if I know I'm going to have, let's check our time here, 10 minutes, right? I can sit in a seat, enjoy it, and I can watch a YouTube video on another monitor. And so that's the sort of stuff of why I like this sort of gameplay and why doing things like autopilot is nice. Alright, so it's kind of foggy, but I will advance time so you guys can just kind of see it moving. And I will check back with you when we get to the ship. Alright, so we have arrived here. So here is the boat that needs servicing. I'm going to shut off the bearing system there. I have to keep going into this spectator view to check stuff. Okay, so that's because it's going into heading hold mode, so I need to shut that off. Okay, why can't I control my azopod here? So I'm having struggles here with my azopod control. Do that one. Alright, so this one has me locked out, so that's not good. So something's up. I need to fix some stuff. So unfortunately, I'm here needing to fix stuff already, so the autopilot will work. So I might be able to fix it by putting zeros in there. Yeah. So I know what I did. I screwed something up when I put in zeros there. It won't let me control. So I just need to fix that. But just a little bit of microcontroller, growing pains. Get a pick here. I'm kind of curious how big these are next to each other. You see, this seems like a little tug, but it's actually pretty big. Alright, so let's go. I have the torch on me. So I was having some stability issues, and those new fins I added are just causing me problems. What I'm going to do is make those reverse fins only, and only for pitch. That's really the only time I need help with those, and so that will allow me to keep the stern in the water. Alright, so first thing, let's check the map here. I'll get rid of this waypoint. And let's see, the mission. Why won't it show me the mission here? What I need with a mission. Alright, there it is. So, just says require servicing, so let's go ahead and find where it needs the servicing. If it's underwater, I'm going to teleport. Again, this is why I have that capability is, you know, I forgot to put in torches, and I don't have to go all over town because I forgot something simple. I'm going to steal this, though. Zinc mine. And zinc mine. Taken. I'm a stealing today. So if it's most likely it's something in the water, and I'm going to teleport for that if need be. Could be something else, but I'm thinking that's what it is. So, not seeing anything broken yet. It does require servicing. I don't see any broken parts yet. What's this? That's a window. I'm gonna say, did they forget a block? No. Alright, so it could have something else interior-wise that needs doing. Here, let me figure it out. Probably precarious going up this ladder. Interesting design. Oh, come on. Get out of there, guy. Alright, so if you design your build that I have to no-clip to get through, that's kind of an issue. I'm having a no clip through there. Alright, so I don't see anything in here. So I'm not seeing, it might not actually need servicing, it might just need towing, but it said servicing, so let's get towing, and then I can always screw with this later and see if it needs servicing, but thought it said in the mission servicing, so let's see. Nope, it just says transport river barge to creative dock, so that's the servicing it needs is transpo. Alright, that's fine. Not a big deal. So let's use the maneuverability of this to get there. Where are we at here? I'm looking for... Okay, so see, we have a rope anchor. That... this is going to be annoying because I'm at... Oh, great. I fell in the hole. I'm already seeing some issues here because I have to... Doesn't have... Okay, it does. Right there in the bow. Okay. Because I want to do single point towing. I don't want to do multi-point towing. Eventually I'll add probably a couple winches to do multi-points, but let's get in position. Alright. And so we'll... Alright, so my... See, something's up. See that port azipod? That port azipod's freaking out, man. So make sure that has a 0 in it. Make sure that has a 0 in it. Alright, so see, I don't know why my port azipod's misbehaving, so I'm going to have to kind of operate this as a single-engine stand tug for the moment, which is not ideal. So I screwed something up with one of the microcontrollers I'm going to have to fix, so... And you see how it's really unstable? That's because of those new fins I added. So I have a bunch of stuff to fix. But I want to at least try to do this mission, so... Another reason, you know, I advocate for that creative menu. Let's do this really quick. Because I'm so screwed up here, I want to do third-person vehicle. So see, I can allow these things, or I can restrict them as necessary. And so, why I do this, it really helps me. It could be that Azipod's causing all my control issues because it is always cocked to the side like that. So like normally I don't like operating third person, but you know I had an issue, so I'm using it to... What's going on here? What's going on here? Come on, close the door, you... Eventually I'm going to put an auto close system so that, you know, it makes it so that the ship won't sink if I forget the door is open, but I might keep it without an auto close system. That way I just have to remember and I pay for my mistakes. Alright, so we're winched up here. This Azipod's going to cause me problems. That's a reasonably long tow. So let's go ahead and I'm going to end the episode here. And I hope you guys enjoyed that. Next episode, we'll begin the tow. See you then.